some chance for successful Antegrade wiring. However, because of a severe calcified occlusion, any wire conquest from field XT to conquest 820, no wire could be advanced into the occlusion. So that the next step is the retrograde approach. And fortunately, retrograde, this is the Antegrade approach, but no wire create a successful wiring. And I moved to a retrograde approach with one of a septal branch. However, even after the successful advancement of a Corsair, no wire also could be advanced into the occlusion because of very, very severe calcified occlusion. So in those cases, probably conventional wire does not work. So we need another device technology other than the conventional wire. Maybe one option is probably, I believe, forward-looking IBUS. Of course, forward-looking IBUS itself does not work for calcified occlusion. However, if it's combined with radio frequency energy, probably it works well in very calcified occlusion. So now I'm waiting for a combination of forward-looking IBUS and radio frequency energy. And also another option is in the Antegrade manner is a bridge point device. Probably some of you know this device, but I will show you this product. This is a combination of crossboss caster and a stingray balloon and the re-entry system. And crossboss itself, this is a metal chip caster like this. And it has a atraumatic distal chip. So it creates some space inside the occlusion and to advance the stingray balloon. And the stingray balloon is a unique balloon. This is a flat balloon, and it has two ports inside the balloon, top port and the bottom port. So if you inflate the stingray balloon in subintimal space, and you can select one port into the distal true lumen. And also re-entry wire has a distal probe like this, so it's completely different as a conventional wire. So I will show you animation using a bridge point device. And first advance the crossboss with conventional wire, then spin rotation of a crossboss. Sometimes crossboss itself create a two-channel tracking. However, in majority of cases, it creates a subintimal tracking like this, and it was replaced by a flat balloon, stingray balloon, and inflated with low pressure. And then you can select a two-port from a flat balloon, and by careful angiographic check, and then you can advance the re-entry wire to get the distal true lumen. So in those cases, distal port is not appropriate, and the proximal port is toward into the true lumen like this. So this is a concept of a bridge point re-entry device. And I have some experience of this device, and this is mid-radio occlusion like this, and you can see some good connection from septal. So if you want to move to a retrograde approach, we can move it. However, I tried Antegrade approach with crossboss. The first step is advance the crossboss caster with spin rotation. And spin rotation create channel creation like this. And probably, usually it creates a subintimal tracking like this easily. And after that, removal of crossbows. And I advance a stingray balloon. You can see a 2-marker balloon here. And carefully advance towards the distal end. And now you can see the position of a stingray balloon. And this is very important inflation of a stingray. But this is a flat balloon, so we cannot clearly see a contrast inside the balloon. And then advance a re-entry wire. And after that, it's a very important point. And aerial view, 2-marker almost overlapped. However, in aerial view, 2-marker you can see above on the distal true lumen like this. So we can select one of port towards the true lumen. And in this case, proximal port is appropriate, correct port. So wire comes out, just push, and no without rotation. Just push to make a re-entry, and fortunately easily create a successful puncture, and then you can move to Antegrade manner, standard manner. This is the final result of this case. So this is a little bit a simple case. However, this is more complex case. I'll see a very long occlusion. And in this case, unfortunately, already a retrograde approach was attempted. However, no good channel for retrograde approach. So only antegrade approach was allowable. And my plan is advance the crossbows and the stingray around here, because you can see some channel here, and I would like to make a re-entry. And first I advance the crossbows with Miracle 3, and crossbows nicely created a subintimal tracking like this. So now it's time to puncture with a stingray balloon. But you can see a first puncture into the inner side was failed. So in those cases, we can change the position of a stingray balloon more distal like this. But I made a multiple puncture around more than 10 times, but each puncture failed. However, and still you can see a distal lumen maintained like this. So probably puncture itself with a stingray balloon is not so traumatic compared to a parallel wiring or something. I was guided penetration. So I try repuncture from a more proximal portion again, and finally successful puncture I got. So this is the final result of this case. So if we don't have this bridge point system, probably we cannot get the successful procedure. So I learned from this case, and finally get the true lumen after many unsuccessful punctures. So probably puncture itself is not so traumatic compared to parallel wiring or antegrade dye injection or IVAS guided penetration. So as long as this lumen is not collapsed, repeated attempt using this system is allowable. So maybe this re-entry device play another role in the antegrade approach in the near future. So in conclusion, in the antegrade approach, first microchannel tracking, or sometimes loose tissue tracking, we can say, is feasible as a first attempt, and parallel wiring is still gold standard. And IVAS guided penetration is now very rarely used, and new re-entry device will facilitate the antegrade procedure and replace the retrograde approach in some cases. And the last enemy must be a severe calcified occlusion, which still require another device technology for our final victory. So we decided to move a CCT meeting to autumn again, not to overlap a Chinese New Year. So next CCT meeting will be held in November 2011. And also, last week we finished the 12th CTO Club in Japan, and we will open 13th CTO Club in the next year, June, in Toyohashi. Thank you so much for your attention.